Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear sons and daughters of planet Earth, I am Sananda. I believe that everyone's heart is still perfectly integrated with the movement this past weekend. As I said, I don't want suffering, I don't want pity. My death and resurrection had a purpose, and through this purpose, however manipulated and modified in meaning, over time, it remains today. That's what you can't forget. They tried to silence my voice, but my voice was never silenced. I remained in the hearts and minds of all of you. The attempt was fruitless, and today, almost 2,000 years later, I return here once again, putting my words, my teachings, trying to bring humanity, now no longer just a people, humanity, conscience, the Christ consciousness, which is what I have always preached. In the same way as millennia ago, my word bothers, my word goes against the powerful, my word goes against those who used the same words, for their own understanding, for their own laws. And they're not happy to see me talking around again. They preach, and preach around me, and once again I will say, I will not return because I am already here. I never stopped being, my soul has always protected this planet, my soul has always been in consciousness on this planet, in the hearts of each one of you. So I won't come back. Whoever comes back is because they left, and I never left. I have remained here all this time, preparing the hearts of each one, in their own way and in their own way, for this current era. I have always believed in the people of this planet. Many didn't believe it, but I never stopped believing. I knew that one day, some representatives would stand up and start saying no to all this manipulation and ask for my help. And I've been fighting. I don't fight, as you know, but I have fought in terms of convincing, preparing, planning, everything that has been done up until now. I coordinate the entire process. I am the mind that coordinated the liberation of this planet. It coordinated because for me, this planet is already free, but I am still here, and so that I no longer worry about your liberation, there is still a long way to go. Maitreya is by my side, all the time, absorbing all the teaching, absorbing all the role that he will have as a neighbor, or rather, as the current planetary Christ. Understand, once again I repeat, I will never return because I never left here, I remained here and I continue. And my consciousness will remain here eternally. Another planetary Christ is only necessary, because I have other missions to fulfill. My mission towards this planet is almost over, which is the liberation of this planet from the yoke of those who call themselves the powerful. Times are not easy. Nothing will be easy, nothing will be without suffering, because the change is internal, the change is profound, and no profound change is easy, it is simple, it happens in the blink of an eye. Any and all internal changes are very violent, very deep, and sad to experience. But what gives her the big victory? It is the certainty that even having to put out all those moments and feelings that you have practiced for so long, and seeing them, effectively in front of you, is the certainty that all of this will be cleansed, all of this will be transmuted into a lot of forgiveness, a lot of asking for forgiveness. And then yes, their souls will be ready for a new beginning, for a fresh start, where there will no longer be evil to make them follow the tortuous path. Don't be afraid of what you will be putting on the table. Don't be afraid of the things to come, don't be afraid of knowing what you were, don't be afraid of knowing what you did. Little by little, each one of you will be led to this, each one in their own time, each one in their own preparation. Why this? Because it is necessary, because it is no longer up to your soul to hide behind human oblivion. This is over. Those bonds, those veils, that kept you forgotten are dissolving, and all the memories will come to the surface, good and bad. Unfortunately, the vast majority are bad, because you were manipulated, you were guided, you were led to believe in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. They were led to take justice into their own hands, they were led to believe in that punitive and vengeful God, who punished those who did not listen to him with death. Don't understand that this doesn't matter, of course it does, and it weighs a lot, at the moment the request for forgiveness is made. It's as if all this manipulation had immense weight and a simple request for forgiveness, from the bottom of the heart, with lots of love and regret, was multiplied millions of times, precisely because we know that a lot of it was due to manipulation. So don't be afraid of what you will see, don't be afraid of not being forgiven. The request for forgiveness has to be sincere, it has to be deep. What will happen to the other soul is no longer your problem. You will also have to be able to forgive many, and there is growth too. So you can see that everything now revolves around a single word, forgiveness, whether asking or giving. So prepare yourselves for this time. You think you have already transmuted everything, that you have already cleansed yourself of everything. I would say that you have already done this with what was on the surface, with what you could see, with what you were able to see. Moments are approaching for this all to be cleaned up, but now you will be unearthing very old things. And I say to each one of you, I'm still here. And I want each one of you, when faced with whatever it is, no matter how ugly, no matter how horrible, no matter how absurd and immense what you will see, I will be by your side. I will be next to each one of you, holding your hand and giving you the necessary confidence, so that you can get through this and continue forward. Don't be afraid to see what you will see. The time has come for souls to cleanse themselves. No soul ascends with blemishes in its heart, with blemishes on its path. And these stains are dissolved, with this word, forgiveness. And concomitantly with all this, the only thing you cannot do is judge yourself, nor judge anyone. I hope you have already learned this, because you will tend to do that, to judge yourself, to be horrified, how you were able to do that. So I tell you once again, you are seeing everything, with the awareness you have today. And what awareness did you have at that time, at that moment, in that episode? So why the trial? Why the pain? Why the sadness? Why the suffering? What's done is done, nothing will change. Now is the time to clean up the dirt, to take all of this and put it on the table and start cleaning the easiest ones, those that will be simplest, then start the deeper ones. Oh, how are we going to do that? You will be guided, each one of you, each thing will come to the surface in its own time. Those who will be coordinating this are the spiritual masters of each one of you, they will know the time for each thing to come to light. And the only action to be taken is forgiveness, nothing more. There is nothing to ask, there is no why, there are no consequences, there is nothing to be asked. There is only one action, forgiveness, whether asking or giving. And I will be by your side. Whoever wants my help, ask, and I will be there donating my energy, so that each one of you knows how to transmute each of those problems with forgiveness. It is not enough to simply ask the violet flame to transmute into love and light. No. You practiced, you did, so you have to have an action, and this action is unique, global, identical for everyone. Forgiveness. Don't be anxious, don't be worried, everything will appear in its own time, everything will appear at the right time. I just don't want judgments, neither towards you nor towards others. Along with this video, you will be receiving a mandala. It is being sent to you so that you have it with you at all times. Every time you do a meditation, every time you pray, look at this mandala initially, and keep it in an easy place, where you can access it at any time. This mandala has my energy, and just the fact that you look at it will be enough for my energy to travel throughout your body and prepare each one of you for all the moments to come. Always have it on hand. It is not to be left hanging, it is not to decorate the house, it is to be on hand when you are going to pray or meditate. It's not to put on your devices, it's to have it in your hand, on paper, plain paper. Rant. Print again. There is no activation. The mandala activates itself due to the energy of the drawing that is there. So without despair, without tribulation of any kind for her impression. Do everything very calmly, learn to be calm. And listen carefully to what was said. I explained very easily, what has to be done. Learn to listen and understand. You were used to always depending on someone else's opinion, to never believe what you understand, what you hear. So let's start learning this. It's very simple. The mandala is to have on hand, when praying, when meditating. There is no more to say, so there is no more to ask. The paper is torn, prints again, there is no activation. Learn to trust what you understand. Stop depending on other people's opinions. Each of you learn to own your own understanding. Don't depend on others. Stop depending on other people's opinions. You have to confirm everything with each other. Why? When you make your wrong decisions, you don't ask anyone, because you think you're powerful. So why such a simple thing, you have to ask. If you listen with your heart, there is nothing to ask. So there it is. Have this mandala at all times, whenever you pray or meditate. You don't have to involve her in anything, the paper has to be directly in your hand. I leave each of you now, with my energy. And remember, no judgments of any kind.